What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing a shoe that I am very excited for, and that's the Nike Sacai LD Waffle in the white and gray colorway. I know, this review is really late. The shoe came out like a week or two ago, and usually I try and get out reviews early or on the day of release. But this one I literally couldn't get. It's just too difficult to grab, it was that hyped, and I just had to pay resale for it. But the reason I was willing to spend as much as I ended up spending, which is kind of a ridiculous amount of money, is because I genuinely think that this could be the sneaker of the year. And like I said in the unboxing video, which if you haven't checked that out yet, link at the top of the screen, I'm trying to do at the end of the year like a sneaker countdown and actually own all the sneakers on that list so I could give you guys special B-roll. I can let you guys know my personal experience with each shoe, so I felt like I had to at least own one pair of LDV waffles or LD waffles, whatever they're called, I don't know. On a slightly different note, if you do happen to like unboxings and you don't just like unboxings on shoes, I actually just started an unboxing channel, which I'm sure you've heard about a million times by now, but seriously, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to do that. There's a link in the top of the description. I unbox all sorts of stuff, maybe some shoes in the future, and it's just been a blast. It's been my passion project, and I would love it if you guys could check that channel out. But getting back into the sneaker itself, the Sacai Nike LD Waffle is actually a mashup of two different sneakers, and that idea of taking two different but similar sneaker models and mashing them together into one sneaker seems to be the trademark of the Sacai Nike collaboration. And of course the other shoe that got the Sacai treatment was the Sacai Nike Blazers, which is actually a mashup of the Nike Blazer and the Nike Dunk High. You can definitely see some of the different panels of the shoe coming together, and also this weird, like, overly layered rubber heel, which I still don't understand why they did it like that, but it is what it is. And one last shameless self-promotion, if you haven't seen the review of this sneaker, I've left a link to that at the top of the screen as well. But onto the Sacai LD Waffle itself, this shoe is of course a mashup of the LDV and also the Waffle Racer, and you can see elements from both shoes littered throughout the sneaker. Out of the Blazer and the LD Waffle seems to be the more coveted and more highly valued of the two, which I sort of understand because it is a cleaner looking sneaker and it's definitely easier to wear. As of right now, I think there's 5 different colorways of this shoe available, like a blue and yellow, a yellow and green, like a maroon and green, a black and white, and then of course this white and gray. And out of all 5, this one is definitely my favorite because not only do I think it's the most wearable, but I think this color combination is just so clean. But getting into the materials that actually make up this shoe, a majority of the upper is covered in this very thin white mesh. I was genuinely surprised when I first saw this shoe in hand. I didn't realize the mesh was so thin, and I think for me a big concern is going to be durability. And as we continue on with the shoe, you'll realize that's sort of a consistent theme. In some ways, the mesh is great because it's super breathable. In other ways, it might be sort of a pro and a con depending on what color socks you're wearing, because yes, you can see your socks through this upper. And in a definite con towards the shoe, like I just mentioned, durability is definitely an issue, and it really scares me wearing this shoe. I've worn it like for maybe about an hour so far, and I'm afraid my foot is just gonna rip out of this thing. Running around the edge of the toe, you've got the double mudguard. One is taken from the LDV and one of course is taken from the Waffle. I couldn't tell you which one comes from which. I have no clue. I can say, however, that one is gray and one is darker gray, if that helps at all, but that's about the extent of my knowledge on that. Both mudguards are made of suede, but it's not the nicest quality suede in the world, and I can tell you that right out of the box, my right shoe already had a scuff on it, which doesn't bother me too much, but it's kind of annoying. Moving up on the shoe, you get to this leather panel around the tongue that comes in a lighter gray. You also have a darker gray suede panel underneath it. Both panels have eyelet punch outs, and that's where the double lacing weaves through. Because apparently the shoe is kind of like a drunk vision of two girls at a bar, of course it has double lacing. You've got one white flat lace and one gray flat lace. The thickness of the two laces together can be a little bit much, to say the least, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It just makes the shoe a little bit harder to loosen up and tighten. If you don't like either the white or the gray laces, you can switch just one of them out for the navy blue laces that come in the box as well. I can only imagine how difficult it would be to actually change out these laces if you want to, because this double lacing situation is a lot. Underneath the laces, of course, you've got 2 separate tongues, one from the LDV and one from the Waffle Racer. Not sure which one is which. They're both very thin tongues though, and definitely thinner than I think they would be on the original shoe. And I think that's just because there's 2 of them, and it would get too thick if you were using both of the original tongues on this shoe. The front tongue has the Nike sportswear tag on it with the bright orange swoosh, and the back tongue has the Nike Sacai branding in black. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got a lightly padded light gray sock liner that feels pretty good on foot. The rest of the upper, as I mentioned, is just kind of mesh, and it feels fine against your foot. One thing I will say though is that when you're pulling on this shoe, It does feel very fragile, and it scared me a bunch of times, and I just feel like I gotta say that you gotta be careful putting this shoe on, because I mean, it just kind of feels like you're wearing paper, and not in a bad way, just it's very, very thin. The insole of the shoe also comes in light gray with the Nike Sacai branding printed on the heel in orange. And as for fit, the Sacai Nike LD Waffle does seem to fit true to size, and that's the way that I went. It fits me great. Some people have suggested going down half a size, and I guess that would work if you prefer a tighter fit, but for me personally, true to size was the way to go. As I always suggest though, if you have the chance to try the shoe on first before you buy it, make sure to do that to make sure the sizing is right for you. But good luck trying on a pair because they're expensive and not many people are going to let you try them on before you buy them. Continuing back on the shoe, you get to one of my favorite details on the entire sneaker, and that's the overlapping Nike swooshes. Both swooshes come in a very thin leather, one comes in white and one comes in light gray, and I also couldn't tell you which swoosh is from which shoe, but I don't really think it matters that much. Continuing back on the shoe, you get to the overlapping heel counters. One comes in a dark gray suede, the other one comes in sort of a lighter gray nubuck maybe. It's not exactly leather, but it's not really suede. And then at the top of the heel, you've got a medium gray leather panel with the Nike Sacai branding printed onto it. Moving downward, you get to probably the most eye-catching part of the entire shoe, and that's the double layered midsole. Both midsoles come in a white foam, but they both have slightly different textures, and they're not extremely soft. The upper midsole, however, does jut pretty far out from the back of the shoe, which I do think a lot of people like, and that is kind of the most iconic part of the sneaker. One thing I will say though is that when you're trying to pull the sneaker on, do not pull from this part of the shoe because it's very fragile. It could rip off, it could separate from the upper of the shoe. You just really gotta be careful with this shoe. It's not something you can be rough with. You gotta treat it like a $1,000 shoe, like it will be in the next couple weeks. As for the actual comfort of the midsole, it definitely doesn't feel bad underfoot. It's soft, but not that soft. It's kind of just your standard foam midsole. One thing I will say though is that it does kind of have a wedge shape, so when you start to walk forward, you really sort of notice a drop off when your toe hits the ground, more so than I expected. And not only that, if you are walking downstairs or you're driving, or really anything involving using the heel of your foot, you really gotta be aware of this thing jutting out of the back. And I realize it's like a lot of things you got to think about when wearing this shoe, but it looks dope. So is it really worth dealing with all the things that you have to deal with while wearing this shoe? I think so. I love the way it looks. But not everyone will think so, and I totally get that. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the shoe, you've got this black rubber waffle outsole. At the beginning of the video, I said that I think this sneaker is probably the front runner for sneaker of the year, and I still stand by that, no matter what you have to go through to actually put this shoe on your feet. I know it's a lot of work, but think of it like a relationship. There's a lot of give and take. You have to give up a lot, but in return, you get a really stylish looking sneaker. I really didn't think it would be that difficult to wear this shoe, and to be fair, it's not impossible, it's not hard, but it's a shoe that you genuinely have to make some trade-offs to wear, and especially if you're spending so much money on it, you've got to think of it more as a fashion accessory than a do everything all day wear sort of shoe. I don't know, that might just be me. You might have a different experience with this shoe, you might have no trouble with this shoe whatsoever, but for the limited amount of time that I've actually owned this sneaker, it's been more work than I expected. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the Nike Sacai LD Waffle and whether you think this is sneaker of the year, or if you don't think this shoe is a sneaker of the year, which shoe you think is actually in that #1 spot. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.